We're back on the Chef You and I, and now we're going to make classic Italian meatballs. And this is pretty simple, and I have made my wonderful, breadcrumbs or bread cubes. And what we're going to do, and I used an Italian bread, again, and cut it up. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use 3/4 pound of 95% lean beef. Because remember, this is a diabetic cookbook. So we're going to take first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our breadcrumbs, we're going to put them into a bowl, right? Or bread cubes into a bowl. And I've got a quarter of a cup of milk that I'm going to use. And because we're going to have to squeeze the excess milk out, I'm going to use rubber gloves again. So you're going to add 1/4 cup of milk to the breadcrumbs, and you're going to let them get nice and soggy or wet, and you're going to squeeze all of the milk out of them, okay? And I'm doing it like this. You can see me doing that, okay? So that's what you have to do. That's the first thing you have to do. Then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to add the rest of your ingredients. You're going to combine all your ingredients, which is your 3/4 pound of ground beef, 1 egg, lightly beaten, which I did. Then you're going to add, I'm going to chop up some wonderful flat leaf parsley, which you can get in the stores right now, and it's just so beautiful. And actually, it's right in the middle of winter. We're still in winter yet, so we're going to add that. And combine that, put that in there, and then we're going to add our ground beef. And I use the lean ground beef from Laura's, which I really, really, really like. And there's no antibiotics or anything like that in the beef. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our salt, our ground salt, and fresh ground pepper, and our chili. Okay, just a little bit of chili. A pinch. That's a pinch. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to form our meatballs. Just let me put this away or throw it away. Okay? And we're going to do that. And then we're going to put them on I've got a cookie sheet right here. So we're going to form that. Okay, here's our meatballs. 1. These are maybe a little bit too big. I'll make these a little smaller. Here, let's take that one's too big. Yeah, about 1/2 inch. And these are really, really, that's a little too big still. Okay, and then we're going to add 2 cups of wonderful fresh tomato sauce that I made. And we're going to add, in just a minute, as soon as I get the meatballs done, we are going to put them in with the wonderful fresh tomato sauce. And then you're going to put that in the, you're going to bring it to a light boil. You can either use a saucepan, and you're going to let that get to about 30. We're going to get it up for high for a few minutes, and then you're going to simmer it for about 30 minutes until the meatballs are done. And then we're going to serve with the meatballs our wonderful croquettes, our eggplant croquettes, and the first course is going to be our soup, the broccoli soup, which is almost done, and we'll show you that in a minute. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them into fresh tomato sauce, and we're going to take a short break. take a look at those wonderful meatballs. We're going to put those into a pan with some tomato sauce, and we're going to cook them. We'll be right back on The Chef You and I. We're back on The Chef You and I, and our broccoli soup is just about finished. I put the yogurt into it, and we're going to serve it now. And I have our homemade croutons that came out of the oven. They look beautiful. And there's enough soup there for between 4 to 6 people. 4 people. And so unless your guests just want a little bit of soup, then you could probably get 6. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to serve it into our bowls right here. Just a second. And this is so beautiful. Look at how pretty that is. And I'm going to need a paper towel to wipe that off in just a second. And I'm going to put this down. All right, let's do the other bowl now. I like extra pepper, so I added some extra pepper to the bottom of my soup bowl. So we're going to do that right there. Such a nice, winter soup that you can do and have for your family. And now we're going to add the croutons. All right, our soup is finished. We're going to serve it in just a moment, but we're going to put our homemade croutons into our soup. So just put those really sweet right there. And they turned out great. They're so simple to make, easy to do. Even your children can help you do this. I know my granddaughter would love this kind of soup. She loves vegetables. I can't believe it. All right, now I want to show you also our beautiful, beautiful eggplant croquettes. And I'm going to add a little bit of tomato sauce on top of each one of them because it just is so beautiful. And I want to have that extra little bit of a tomato flavor to it. So we're going to do that. We're just going to pour that on there. Yeah, that looks good. That'll give it a really nice flavor, right? And like I said, we want to thank Amy Riolo for her wonderful recipes. And our meatballs are cooking in our skillet, our Dutch oven. And I'm going to, in a second, turn them over so that you can see them. And they look so beautiful. Oh my gosh, they look great. I can't wait to try them. So just let them go. They look good. This meal is fit for a king. And then later in the show, we're going to show you how to make a beautiful blood orange salad. And then we're going to do gelato and fajitas. So we'll be back on The Chef You and I. We're back on The Chef You and I, and the wonderful part about this cookbook from Amy Riolo is that it's Italian cooking that is easy and simple for diabetics. And I have to tell you, the actual wonderful classic meatballs look beautiful. I can't wait to eat them. And we actually used tomato sauce on them. And we put some Parmigiano cheese for our serving of, and we added the wonderful eggplant croquette to it, and that's a meal in itself. So we had our first course, which was our broccoli peppercorn soup, and now we have our wonderful croquette with our meatballs, and that's an entree in itself. And we'll be back in a little while to do our desserts, which is going to be our actually blood red orange salad, and then we're going to be doing our dessert. So we'll be back after these messages on The Chef You and I.